So Mike McDaniel signed a contract extension through the 2028 season about a day ago. I love Mike McDaniel. I think he's a very entertaining guy. I feel like a lot of people have the same opinion. Definitely one of the most wackiest coach is in recent memory. I'm really trying to think of a guy that is somewhat comparison to him. Maybe Dan Campbell, but Mike McDaniel is really a one of one. Now, a lot of people are kind of torn on this contract extension. I feel like some people are definitely happy about it, and some Dolphins fans are kind of in the mixed bag territory, mainly due to the fact that he needs to win some playoff games, or just one playoff game. Yeah, he's been pretty successful in the regular season thus far, but down the stretch, against good teams, that was the whole narrative last year. The Dolphins can't beat good teams. Those two things come into play. He just hasn't been up to the part. No playoff wins, not great against good teams, kind of being outcoached in certain spots. I know offensively, that's his specialty, his bread and butter. Obviously, he has a job right now because he is one of the best offensive head coaches in the league currently. But as a whole, we still have a lot to figure out with Mike McDaniel. I'll tell you what, I definitely like this better than the Tua signing. I believe in Mike McDaniel a lot more than Tua, but this season is going to be really telling, man, because we'll see if the Dolphins can overcome the narrative of not being able to beat good teams, and hopefully they'll get a playoff win. If they have another season where they're in a wild card situation and they come out in that wild card game and lay an egg, then I think we got to start pointing some fingers and asking some serious questions. And as far as Tua, again, bro, I've talked about this a lot, but Tua, I don't know how I'd be feeling right now if I was a Dolphins fan. Like, what if he gets hurt and, he still has that contract? That'd just be not a good look. Be pretty depressing, quite honestly. Tua's got to stay healthy. Mike McDaniel has to have a good year, and we'll see what happens. But the good thing for the Dolphins is it's a very doable year to be good, especially in the AFC East. The Bills lost a lot of pieces, so I feel like they are somewhat more compromised than they were a year ago. And I know the Bills had that narrative going into last year too, of them kind of being vulnerable more or less, and Josh Allen turned it on, made the playoffs, etc. So we'll kind of see again this year, but if the Bills kind of have like a similar run like they did a year ago, then I feel like that narrative is just going to be dead. Like, I don't care who's on the Bills, as long as Josh Allen is there and he's healthy. And I feel like he could carry that team wherever he wants to go. But point is, the Bills lost a lot of pieces, and they're actually not favored to win the AFC East this year. So, interesting. And then you got the Jets. The Jets are the Jets, of course. Big old question mark. I really wouldn't put a lot of stock into them. Who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen and, Aaron Rodgers will become an Iron Man this year. I don't know, man. There's just no way he's not going to get hurt at some point and miss at least a handful of games. I don't trust that team. I don't at all, but we'll see. And then you got the Patriots, obviously, in a rebuilding, new era kind of year, so obviously they're not going to be competitive. So it's really set up for the Dolphins to win the AFC East this year. I really think their only competition is the Bills. And who knows, maybe by a certain point in the season, they won't even be in the same caliber as the Dolphins, because again, we don't know what the Bills are going to be, especially offensively. They just lost a lot of weapons, and Sean McDermott, I don't know how he still has a job. I could go on and on about that. They should have fired him a long time ago. Just imagine, like, if they would have hired, like, a Mike Vrabel there or some sort of offensive-minded head coach to really fine-tune Josh Allen, I would be picking the Bills to be a Super Bowl contender every single year. But I'm telling you, until they fire McDermott, everything is just going to be really... Everything with the Bills is just going to have a ceiling because McDermott's holding them back. He's not good. He's not good, I'm telling you. He should have been fired on the spot for that Damar Hamlin fake punt against the Chiefs. That game was so winnable, bro. That game was so winnable. I don't like him. I don't like him because I don't like when players get stunted. Josh Allen is getting stunted. The Bills had their window for like 3 or 4 years. They were right there with the Chiefs. You're telling me you can't beat them one time? Give me a break. Sorry, but McDermott sucks. But yeah, man, let me know if y'all like this contract extension or was it a bit too premature. Like I said, I feel like the majority of the population is kind of mixed on this. I would have waited one more year because I really feel like this is a huge year. You know, Tua's health, Tua got paid. How is he going to play? Mike McDaniel, can he win a playoff game? Can he beat the good teams? We'll see. I would have waited, but let me know what y'all would have done. Speaking of the Dolphins, I'm really curious and excited to see what they do in their backfield. I know obviously Waddle, Tyreek, Tua, and company, and maybe Odell will show up and come play good ball, but their backfield is really fascinating to me. I know obviously Raheem Mostert, hell of a back, just gets touchdowns. He's just a touchdown machine. Fast dude. Always liked his game. I know he's going to be solid, even though he's had his fair share of injuries. I hope he stays healthy this year. But Devon Achane is another huge question mark going into this year. Yes, he went off for parts of last year, and he looked like an animal out there. He just looked different out there, and I'm really curious to see if that was just like a one-year wonder sort of situation or if this guy is going to be a legit back in this league. Because if he's a legit back in this league with Raheem Mostert, with Tyreek, with Jalen, with Tua, if he stays healthy, there's no excuse not to win a playoff game this year. No excuse. None at all. So, with that being said, the Dolphins have to win a playoff game this year, but we'll see. Let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Curley's lined up in a single back formation. Gets the handle here. And it's Earl Thomas who brought him down that time. Second down following the run. Curley's going to take the handoff now. And that's a gain of 9. He's now got 70-plus yards on the ground.
The Seahawks are behind right now, and you see the numbers are giving up a lot of yardage on the ground, and it stands out because it's so out of character for this unit.
The tempo of this game is being set by the offensive side. The way they are running, they got all the situations in their favor, and the defense can't get them in those obvious passing situations.
One team's running the football, the other is passing, but both are working with their game plans.
Yeah, they both are working. As you look down there on the field, one set of